game against Chicago tomorrow. And I just want to say, in conclusion of the Jordan Love talk on this episode, this kid, with everything everyone went through, with everything that everyone said about him, with everything, that he had to go through and endure with Rodgers ahead of him, he showed now that he is the guy. He is the franchise quarterback. And even no matter what happens against Chicago tomorrow, he's going to be the guy. And he probably has a contract extension lining up for him this offseason. And, I want to just give my hat off to the guy. He never sulked, in the fact that he was drafted by Green Bay. He never sat there and was a problem in the locker room or demanded a trade. He has always been a good kid, said the right things, and he was like a sponge learning from Aaron Rodgers. And that's what you want. That's what you want, a young franchise quarterback who's learning from one of the best ever to do. And ultimately he did. And he's endured the hard times, and even playing this year once again has endured some hard times and still has gotten up from it and has improved this year. And he's shown that, it's not just that he has the ability and the talent, but also that he has the heart, he has the moxie, he has that it factor to him. And I'm really excited to see how he does the rest of his career, how he continues to develop, because, once again, this is the youngest offense in the NFL, the youngest team in the NFL. He's got the youngest weapons. None of his receivers or tight ends he's throwing to this year that play any significant role at all have any more than 2 years of experience in the NFL. Like, that is nuts. And the fact that he's doing what he's doing with that is something to be said to him and the development that the Packers have had in, developing him and the talent around him. So, he's had a lot of haters, he's had a lot of doubters, and it is what it is. But now he's past that, and he's proved it. And that was a great pick by Brian Gutekunst. It was good for them to be patient. It's honestly a lesson for all other NFL teams to learn. There isn't always that patience. The Packers not having an owner, it helps them be patient like that and letting a kid sit for as long as Jordan Love did. But, other teams could probably take a page out of their playbook and say, hey, maybe it is good to let a kid sit and learn, especially if we have an established guy who's getting up there in age. We don't have to throw a guy in the fire. We don't have to have a Bryce Young situation like what Carolina's dealt with this year. He's had a terrible situation and it might ruin his career. I hope that Bryce Young bounces back from it, but we don't know if he will. So, and for those who say that it's luck that the Packers have had 3 straight Hall of Fame quarterbacks, well, okay, let's back up here. 2 straight Hall of Fame and one guy who, at least at the very least, looks like a franchise quarterback. Okay, so 3 straight franchise quarterbacks, and maybe Jordan Love could end up a Hall of Fame quarterback, but we don't know that yet. It's too early to tell. But anyways, for those who say that it's luck, I find that laughable. Okay, it's not luck that the Packers, when they didn't need a quarterback, they took one. They knew when they made those picks of Aaron Rodgers and now Jordan Love, when they already had a quarterback in front of them who's a future Hall of Fame quarterback, they knew that they were going to get a lot of backlash for that. They knew that it wasn't going to be the most popular pick, but they went with their guns anyway. They stuck to their roots. They said, this is how you develop a quarterback. This is how you develop a team. The worst time to draft a quarterback is when you need one. So, no, not luck. It's good process. Even going back to Brett Favre, the Packers traded for a guy in 1992 who the year prior has stat line of like 0 for 5 with 2 interceptions, 3 interceptions, something like that. Fact check me if you want. But it's not luck. They draft kids with high talent who need some work, who need some development. They develop them. They stay patient with them. And lo and behold, they're good for another decade. They're in Super Bowl contention for another decade because of that. And now for the next 10 plus years, they're going to be in Super Bowl contention because of Jordan Love. So, hats off to the kid. Big game to go tomorrow against Chicago. If they can get a win, it would be awesome in year one to go to the playoffs under Jordan Love and this young team. If they don't win, not all is lost. Still a successful season. Disappointing. I'll be disappointed if they lose tomorrow. I'm not gonna lie, but still gonna be a great ending to the year, regardless. And we gotta be really excited for the future of this team. These young receivers. It's great to be a Packers fan right now. It really is. So